What's going on, everybody? Guys and gals, it's Man Cave here. Basically going to be doing a tutorial video here. What we have in my hands here is a 155 RC 4-wheel drive IROK tire, and usually you see them on a 155 rim. But today, I'm going to show you how to squeeze a 155 tire onto a 19 rim. And in my instance, we're going to be using the OMF wheels from Vanquish. As you know, Vanquish with the OMFs have a very simple system of attaching and making these quick release bead locks. And I really like my black and red ones since they do have the OMF logo on them. So I figured I might as well, since I have to do 4 of these anyways. I'm going to show you how to stretch the tire over the, well, stretch the rings. Mine, I used a red inner ring, black clamp ring, and black backing ring. I'm going to show you how to stretch the tire to fit a 19 rim. So here we go. First off, we start with our clamping ring, which is really not that hard to get in. Boom, that one's already done. You just wiggle it around so it's in place as any standard beadlock ring. And since this tire has a uni-tread style design, it doesn't matter what side you put the back in versus, say, a set of mudslingers, or even better, I can show you with one of my spares, these RC 4-wheel drive mud hogs. These are a directional tire, so you've always got to be careful what side you put the hub in. Not the case with these. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go ahead and start stretching the tire around our back ring. Now you're really gonna have to pull at these, and this is a disclaimer too. If you decide that you want to stretch a set of 155s onto 19 rims, do so at your own risk, because once you stretch them out, you will not be able to go back to using it in a 155 rim. It destroys the bead. But with these Super Swamper IROKs being such an awesome scale looking tire, it's worth it for me to go ahead and stretch the bead. Now with a standard, say an SDX10 bead lock, you have an easier job because you just have to stretch that small ring. These OMFs, the entire red area has to slide down in, but as you can see, there's 4 notches. Well, it's actually easier to see on the back ring. There's a notch here, a notch here, a notch here, and a notch here. That's actually, and all these screws here on the back actually serve as guides for you to line up your rim so it slides together. The only time you really need to pay attention is when you're assembling with the OMF rings, is lining up your screw holes with the notches so you're not fighting it the entire time trying to put it in. So basically the same principle applies here. The back ring went in very easy, which means the front ring is going to be a pain in the butt. So this is where you've really got to start stretching and tugging at it to get it to fit in. My advice is start at one end and then try to get the other side smushed in there. This does become quite tedious, but it's nothing that the rewards are not great enough for to do. I don't believe I have seen any tutorials on how to stretch a 155 onto a 19, so I figured I would do it. I'm sure there's probably some out there. I just haven't seen any. And I hope you guys are not getting tired of seeing shop videos all the time. I'm going to have to go out of camera here for a minute just so I can get this stubborn bead to come over the rim a bit. It is a chore getting these things on, but it's well worth it in the end. Okay, so I've got that in there. Now we have to line it up, which requires a lot of finessing. To get everything exactly where you want it, especially with these OMFs, they are a little tricky. But I found that once you get one screw started, it's not that hard to get the rest of them to go in. As the rain is pouring down. It's just a matter of getting the rim to adhere to what you want it to do. Now, these being Vanquish rims, you do not want to put too much excessive force on them because they are very easy to strip out. So keep that in mind, especially if you're doing, say, like a set of SCX10 rims, because those are very tiny Allen heads and they're probably gonna want to strip out really easily on you. So once you get one of them started, it's kind of just a process of going around the rim, getting the tire set. I always like thinking of the tire as, say, a compass, north, south, east, and west. I like to get north and south done first. That way it pulls everything together. So, we now have 2 out of the 4 screws held on. You want to check and make sure that around your tire you have a uniform bulge, because otherwise your tire is going to look goofy and lopsided. And I can see right now that I have to back these off just a hair and mess around with the tire a little bit here because it's pinched it here in the corner. But once you get the pinch out of the tire, you're in pretty decent shape. Once again, basically you just eyeball the sidewall, and if it looks pretty good and straight, then you're pretty good to go. As you can hear the thunder. Go ahead and start this screw. And we're going to go ahead and set this next one in. So we tighten these down. Get all 4 corners. And ta-da! You have a 1.9 inch rim with a 1.55 inch tire mounted onto it. As you can see, they're still quite stiff, which is good. And it gives you that custom off-road style look with a slightly larger ground clearance. So I've got 2 more of these to do for Project Cherokee over there, and I will be removing the SSZs, which, you know what, I'm just going to do that as well in the video too, because I might as well, seeing how it'd be a very short video. Here we have Project Cherokee, and as you can see, we have the SSZ wheels from Vanquish, which also utilize the Vanquish hub system. The one thing you'll note that's different about these rims is there's a lack of a hole in here for your wheel nut. With the SSZ wheels, you have to mount your Vanquish hub onto your axle first, then you screw the tires onto it. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what I meant, even though it was pretty self-explanatory. These SSZs, for the price, I love them because, number one, they've got that awesome machine look, and I know it's very expensive to go ahead and do all the CNC work for it because you have to make special dies that are for limited runs, which basically means you're spending a ton of money for something that you're going to make a limited production run on. I've worked CNC machines before, so I know how expensive everything gets. I remember we burned up a CNC bit that cost $12,000. But as you can see, the inside of the SSZ rim is flat-faced, and you have your hub sitting on the inside. Now, with the tires that we have done already, being the two 155 stretched onto the 19 rim, I'm just going to go ahead and drop my first cross wrench and grab another one. I'm going to go ahead and remove this hub, which I believe this one is a 600 hub. Yes, these are 600 hubs. And on the IROKs with the OMFs, I have 475 hubs. Now these ones we can just go ahead, like a regular Vanquish, we can just go ahead and screw our hub nut back on. And as easy as that, we've got a 155 tire with a 19 rim, and from what I'm seeing, it looks pretty freaking cool. I'm going to pan the camera up a little bit here so you can see actually the Cherokee, so you can see how the wheel spacing is on it versus the body. It's very awesome. I'm going to go ahead and show you too also the shock relocation kit from Gearhead RC. You can get that off of RPP Hobbies. It gives you the same suspension setup in the rear as a Trailfinder 2, which is an awesome thing to have, seeing how the Trailfinder 2, I love the rear suspension on it. Even though it is leaf sprung, I still absolutely love the idea of having angled shocks. I'm going to go ahead and replace this other back tire, take this other SSZ off. If you guys have an idea of what kind of tire you want to see me buy, or better yet, a tire that you want me to test out, I am currently looking for new styles of 1.9 wheels, not rims, just tires. I'm looking to experiment and try out some new 1.9 tires. So if you guys have any suggestions, go ahead and feel free to leave them down in the comment section, and I will do my best to procure them and test them out for you guys to see how they work. So basically now we've got the rear end done on Project Cherokee with a fantastic set of wheels and a very good set of tires, which I've already found to be really, really good. So before I go ahead and end this clip, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around and move you guys with me. We got the back OMFs with 155s and front 19s with SSZs. So there you go, guys. Yet another long, probably extremely boring video here in the shop, but I hope that tutorial helps you guys out. If you've got some 155 tires laying around, you can stretch them onto a 19 rim. So that should save you some money there. And as always, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next video.